一记猛料，700人失去了工作。
A single shocking piece of news. 700 people lost their jobs. Zongmu Technology, once a star company in autonomous driving, was valued at more than 9 billion yuan and had major investors Lenovo and Xiaomi. But now its executives have resigned, and its founder, Tang Rui, is unreachable. His phone is off, and he has reportedly fled overseas. After the Chinese New Year holiday in 2025, news spread that Zongmu Technology, headquartered in Pudong, Shanghai, had shut down. An internal company notice stated that on February 8th at 6 p.m., the power would be cut off and the building would be sealed. Employees were allowed to retrieve their personal belongings under security escort before then. On February 11th, Chinese state media reported that the company, once valued at over 9 billion yuan, had collapsed due to financial crisis. Tang Rui was rumored to have escaped to the U.S., leaving employees with no way to claim their unpaid wages. A unicorn company refers to a startup valued at over $1 billion. Zongmu Technology's downfall is not just the story of one company, but a brutal reflection of the shakeup in China's autonomous driving industry. Since last year, the company has been repeatedly exposed for failing to pay wages. On November 10, 2024, Zongmu announced that salaries would be delayed until the 25th of each month. On November 25th, during an all-hands meeting, management admitted the company was in serious trouble. That evening at 7:30 p.m., Zongmu officially declared it had entered a wage arrears mode. Yet at the time, the company continued making public statements, claiming it would prioritize production and secure funding by the end of 2024. On January 23rd, Zongmu held another company-wide meeting where CEO Tang Rui assured employees that funding would arrive before the Chinese New Year and that all unpaid wages would be settled. However, on January 26th, the company began its holiday break, and employees never received their salaries. One employee told Chinese media that on January 27th, after transferring company funds into personal accounts, top executives who had control over the company seal all resigned. When employees returned from the holiday on February 5th, they still hadn't been paid, and Tang Rui had disappeared. Journalists repeatedly tried calling Tang Rui, but his phone was turned off. Some employees claimed the CEO has fled to the U.S. Another employee said that with Tang Rui stuck overseas and the entire management team gone, the company had come to a standstill. Employees couldn't even formally resign or process Social Security paperwork. It wasn't just the Shanghai headquarters that shut down. The Chongqing branch also collapsed. A former employee from the Chongqing office posted a video saying,
Today
is probably the last time I'll step into the office. Before the holiday, I joked with my coworkers about whether the company would still be around after the new year. I didn't expect it to come true. This is a harsh reality for workers like us. My colleagues have all left one after another. The once busy office with over 100 people is now empty, with only vacant desks and chairs left behind. A company that was once a rising star ended like this. The entire management team resigned, the boss disappeared, and over 700 employees were left unpaid for nearly 5 months. Who knows when we'll ever see our wages?
Founded in 2013, Zongmu Technology started with autonomous parking and was one of the earliest players in China's self-driving industry. It focused on mass-producing intelligent driver assistance systems. In 2017, the company launched its low-speed L4 autonomous driving system, marketed as an autonomous valet parking product, transitioning from surround view ADAS to full autonomous driving. It ranked 5th among ADAS solution providers and was the top supplier of automated parking solutions. According to the latest IPO filings as of 2023, Zongmu Technology's top 5 clients, Li Auto, Ceres, Chang'an Auto, Voya, and FAW Group, accounted for 93% of its total revenue. These partnerships highlighted the company's strong influence in the industry. Zongmu Technology's founder, Tang Rui, is originally from Ankang, Shanxi, but now he holds U.S. citizenship. Born in 1976, he graduated from Tsinghua University's Department of Electronic Engineering in 1996 and continued his studies there. After earning his master's degree in 2000, he joined Palmchip in Silicon Valley as a software engineer and later became a software director. He then held senior engineering positions at U.S. semiconductor company SIRF and UK-based CSR, which was later acquired by Qualcomm. In January 2013, he founded Zongmu Technology in Shanghai. However, Tang Rui's career and entrepreneurial journey have also sparked discussions about China's ongoing concerns over the origins of technology in its industry. Zongmu Technology was once a favorite among investors. Between 2015 and 2022, it secured funding from Series A to Series E, attracting backers such as Xiaomi, Qualcomm Ventures, Lenovo Holdings, and venture capital firms like Legend Capital. It also received support from local government funds, including Chongqing Liangjiang Capital and Shanghai Sci-Tech Innovation. Notably, Zongmu was the first company Xiaomi invested in after announcing its entry into the electric vehicle market. In March 2022, Zongmu completed its Series E funding round, raising over 1 billion yuan. The funding was led by Dongyang Guanding, with participation from multiple other investment firms. This brought its valuation to 9 billion yuan, officially making it a unicorn company. Later that year, on January 29th, Zongmu began construction on its Dongyang Intelligent Driving System production base in Zhejiang's Dongyang High-Speed Rail City. The project had a total investment of 2 billion yuan and covered 14 acres and planned in 2 phases. It was intended to manufacture smart driving controllers, sensors, and wireless charging systems for new energy vehicles. However, due to various operational challenges, Zongmu Technology failed in its IPO attempt 3 times. In 2017, the company initially went public on the new third board market but delisted within months. In November 2022, Zongmu applied for an IPO on the STAR market, but by September 2023, it withdrew the application. In March 2024, it filed for an IPO on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, but the listing application expired 6 months later, causing investors to lose confidence. As its core business declined, Zongmu tried to pivot into robotics. In January 2024, it launched a new subsidiary, Changkong Robotics, introducing an autonomous charging robot called Flashbot. Zongmu claimed Flashbot was equipped with L4 autonomous driving technology and a 104 kilowatt-hour battery pack, integrating AI, advanced manufacturing, and new materials. In December 2024, it established Shanghai Zongmu Robotics Technology Company Limited, with a registered capital of 50 million yuan. Tang Rui publicly stated that before fully commercializing autonomous valet parking, Flashbot would be the best product to first implement self-parking technology in enclosed facilities. However, the heavy investment in Changkong Robotics further drained the company's cash flow, possibly becoming the final blow to Zongmu's collapse. By November 2024, Zongmu had already started delaying salaries and failing to pay Social Security contributions. As of now, over 700 employees are owed wages, with Social Security and housing funds payments also suspended. Employees did not receive their minimum December salaries, and some were forced to file for labor arbitration. One online post revealed that dozens of pregnant employees were nearing their due dates but could not access maternity benefits. Others, unable to pay their mortgages due to unpaid wages, found themselves in financial distress. The company's CFO and HR director resigned abruptly, with allegations of embezzlement surrounding their departures. Discussions about wage disputes surfaced on social media as early as January 26th, but many posts had vague headlines, likely to avoid censorship. One video showed the phrase, "Pay us our hard-earned money," overlaid on the footage, calling on Zongmu to unsettle the unpaid wages.
Give me back my money. Give me back my hard-earned wages. Pay us back.
A former employee posted a video saying,
12天开工4天，前公司被封楼了。
"The company has shut down. Just a day before we were supposed to return to work, CEO Tang Rui held an online meeting. He admitted he wasn't in China. The company had no money, he personally had no money, and he refused to file for bankruptcy. When it came to our unpaid wages, Social Security, and housing fund, he simply ignored everything. Then the entire management team disappeared. They stopped responding and refused to handle anything." Once work officially resumed, suppliers showed up at the office demanding payment. Since they couldn't get their money, they started taking company assets instead. Right now, the company owes over 280,000 yuan in electricity bills. Overdue Social Security payments have already been posted, and property management fees haven't been paid either. Who knows how much debt is still outstanding? As for us, nearly 1,000 employees, just like I said before, none of us have received Social Security or Housing Fund contributions. This has affected household registrations, loan approvals, and maternity benefits. Pregnant employees can't access medical insurance or maternity allowances, which has had a serious impact on their personal lives. On average, employees were owed 3 to 4 months of wages, not to mention any severance pay we should have received. Some interns just graduated and ended up at a company like this, unable to collect their salaries. Meanwhile, those who are still technically employed can't even process their resignations. Everything has to go through government labor offices now. She also accused the company's top financial and HR executives of embezzling funds. In the last 2 days before the Chinese New Year holiday, they allegedly colluded to divide 880,000 yuan in customer payments among themselves, resigned quickly, and disappeared, taking all the company's official seals with them. She said, "Who would have thought this was once a unicorn company valued at 9 billion yuan? Last year, the Shanghai Party secretary even visited for an inspection. And now, in less than 6 months, it has collapsed. The office is sealed, and the CEO, who got into Tsinghua University at age 16 and always preached transparency and engineering culture, turned out to be this irresponsible." She questioned whether this financial crisis was really unexpected. She said, either Tang Rui was overconfident or he never planned to save the company at all. A former Zongmu employee also shared footage of the abandoned office, saying, "Zongmu was my first full-time job. I worked here from April 1st, 2021 until November 6, 2024, almost 4 years. I had a deep connection with this place, so hearing about its collapse is truly disappointing." An article by Phoenix News reported that as of Zhongmu's last IPO filing, Tang Rui and his mother, Li Xiaoling, controlled 33.3% of the company's voting rights. Tang Rui personally held about 25%, while his mother owned 7.91%. Other major shareholders included Dongyang Guanding, a state-owned investment firm, with 6.48%, Lenovo-related entities with a combined 10%, Synergy Innovation with 7.96%, Qualcomm with 2.6%, and Xiaomi's industrial fund with 4.73%. The article pointed out that investors may have lost billion yuan. Xiaomi, for instance, acquired shares worth 151 million yuan in 2021 and invested another 60 million yuan, totaling about 210 million yuan. Zhongmu's revenue structure was highly concentrated, with its top 5 clients contributing over 80% of its income, and the largest client alone accounting for nearly 50%. The company reported revenues of 225 million yuan in 2021, 169 million yuan in 2022, and 498 million yuan in 2023. Despite generating less than 500 million yuan annually, it was burning through 564 million yuan a year. Over the past 3 years, it had accumulated a cash burn of 1.59 billion yuan. Due to continuous losses, Zhongmu's cash flow worsened, and it repeatedly failed to go public. With a struggling IPO process, tight funding in private markets, and aggressive investments in new business ventures, Zhongmu found itself in a dead end. Chinese media noted that China's autonomous driving industry has grown rapidly in recent years, driven by both government policies and market forces. Many self-driving unicorns have tried to go public. In January 2024, RoboSense was listed in Hong Kong. In August, Black Sesame Technologies also went public there. On October 24th, Horizon Robotics was listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. But despite the wave of IPOs, the autonomous driving sector is still facing widespread financial losses. One industry insider said, "Developing autonomous driving is extremely costly. China has spent nearly a decade pouring in massive amounts of capital to push the industry forward, but the supply chain is still immature and unhealthy, creating a vicious cycle." After Chinese President Xi Jinping came to power, he emphasized that the Chinese Communist Party must control technology, which in reality meant that he personally wanted to control it. This often led to professionals across the country being forced to follow directives from CCP leaders with little expertise. Without proper research or planning, projects were rushed into execution, only to end in waste due to cutthroat competition. On May 23, 2024, Xi Jinping held a roundtable discussion with a select group of business executives. The goal was to boost confidence among private enterprises, which had been severely impacted by government crackdowns. According to state media reports, after listening to the business leaders discuss innovation and investment, Xi asked, "What's the main reason for the decline in new unicorn companies?" The Wall Street Journal later reported that when posed his question, the executives were visibly puzzled. His attempt to reassure The struggling private sector backfired instead. State media did not disclose how the business leaders responded. However, on Chinese social media, the discussion quickly took off, with many users expressing blunt opinions. One Weibo user wrote, "Isn't it because of you?" Another commented, "If everything's going to be nationalized sooner or later, who would want to invest and expand?" A venture capital investor made a remark that resonated widely. "The biggest problem is that the top leader is the one asking this question." Xi has long been seen as distrustful of private capital, working for years to ensure that private enterprises align with the party's agenda. The CCP has tightened control over financial flows, set stricter limits on entrepreneurs and investors, and even taken over companies or sectors it deems out of control. Yet, despite his earlier policies, Xi's question suggested he now wanted to see more unicorn startups, and that led to a contradiction. Following Zongmu Technology's collapse, searches on Douyin about the Shanghai party secretary's visit to the company surged. This reflected public curiosity about the company's ties to the government. According to the official website of Zhangjiang Science City, on the morning of June 12, 2024, Shanghai party secretary Chen Jining visited Zongmu Technology. During the visit, he emphasized that autonomous driving was a key part of smart vehicle development and represented a major opportunity. In photos from the event, Tang Rui can be seen briefing Chen on the company's progress. Chen's visit to Zhongmu was likely a direct response to Xi's remarks 2 weeks earlier. It was a way to show that he was following Xi's directives. On June 26, 2024, aligning with Xi's speech, CCTV aired a special report about unicorn companies. The program featured interviews with several entrepreneurs, including Tang Rui, as a representative of Shanghai's automotive driving sector. At the time, Tang Rui said, "I believe we are on the eve of large-scale autonomous driving adoption. Once the business model is established, the key question will be whether we can better respect and protect the intellectual property developed in the 0 to 1 phase, and use more innovation to create something unique." But just months later, Zhongmu was struggling to pay its employees. The contrast could not be more striking. China affairs expert Yue Shan pointed out that Zongmu Technology's collapse wasn't directly caused by Xi Jinping's remarks, but there was an indirect connection. After Xi made his statement, Shanghai officials and CCTV visited Zongmu, only for the company to shut down 6 months later. Yue explained that China's state-driven approach to technology often results in top leaders making impulsive decisions about what industries to develop, leading to a nationwide rush to follow suit. This creates intense competition, but private companies often receive less policy support compared to state-backed enterprises. Zongmu collapsed right under the watch of Xi's close ally, Shanghai Party Secretary Chen Jining. It would be hard to say that Chen bears no responsibility. In recent years, China's auto industry has also suffered from overcrowding, with too many companies entering the market, leading to overcapacity and fierce price wars. Data shows that since 2020, more than 35 car manufacturers have gone bankrupt or exited the automotive business. Over 190,000 new energy vehicles were left unfinished due to difficulties in maintenance, software upgrades, and insurance coverage, among other issues. As competition in China's auto industry intensifies, the number of abandoned electric vehicles is expected to rise. One notable example is Jiyue Auto, the so-called next-generation smart car backed by Baidu and Geely. In early December last year, it suddenly shut down, leaving over 5,000 employees jobless overnight. Their wages, social security contributions, and severance payments remain unpaid.